Today we'll be discussing obesity, and the reason why I chose to discuss obesity is because I have some family members as well as some close friends that have recently started suffering from obesity, and I can see the way it negatively impacts their life, as well as some of the health concerns that follow. So today we're going to look at some of the factors that contribute to obesity. Many people will start by going over some of the effects that obesity has on health, as well as the way that fast food is contributing to obesity, as well as some of the negative media effects on obesity. Following that, we'll talk about some of the impacts of culture that has on obesity, as well as what some of the things the government is doing, and then we'll go ahead and wrap that up. So we'll start by discussing some of the impacts of health. Currently, obesity is on a rise over the last couple decades. It's negatively impacting health. A lot of people understand the negative emotional things that go along with obesity, but they don't necessarily understand the negative health impacts. So each year, about $150 billion are contributed to premature deaths with obesity. And here we have a chart of preventable deaths. These are the top 5 preventable deaths in the United States. First being tobacco-related deaths, which average about 400,000 deaths per year. Then second is obesity with 300,000 deaths per year. Alcohol, about 75,000 deaths per year. Infectious diseases is about 60,000 deaths per year. And then motor vehicle collisions, which is about 50,000 deaths per year. So obviously obesity, with it contributing to 300,000 deaths per year, is something that we need to take a look at as a society and as a culture, and look at ways to maybe we can resolve this issue a little bit. So, starting by, let's look at some of the health effects of obesity. Obesity, often people with suffering from obesity have high blood pressure, they can get diabetes, they can get heart disease, cancer, and a lot of those things can result in an early death, taking years off their life, and they aren't as able to enjoy a healthy and active life like some of the other people that do not suffer from obesity. So some of the fast food is a big issue on obesity because they're really good about advertising the great taste, the convenience, the cheapness, but they're not very good about portraying the nutritional value of their food, and many times it is not very nutritional whatsoever. And I think it needs to be a better understanding in our society that fast food is contributing to obesity just because of the lack of nutritional value from their food. Currently, fast food companies spend about $4.2 billion a year on advertising for their fast food products, but they spend little to none on actually advertising the nutritional value of their food. So that's definitely something that needs to be addressed. Let's take a look. So let's look at some of the media effects on obesity. So currently in society, the media places the idea that fat is bad and skinny is good, when often they're creating these unrealistic guidelines of what it is like to be, what it is to actually truly be healthy. They always advertise all these Photoshop images of actors, bodybuilders, creating just pretty much an unrealistic persona of what it actually means to be healthy. So that's definitely something that needs to be looked at. That gives the people suffering from obesity the idea that they cannot overcome their issues. So that's something that definitely needs to be addressed through the media. Culture actually is a very huge issue of obesity. Nowadays in our culture, we live in such a technologically advanced, fast-paced lifestyle that we are always wanting the I want it fast, I want it now idea. Everyone in society wants everything now, fast, cheap. So that's why they often resort to fast food companies. I know often when I get off work, the last thing I want to do is go home and whip up a meal, so I'll just hit the drive-thru and call it good. So I mean, that's something that I know a lot of Americans are doing, and it's definitely an issue. Let's see, some of the food companies are also promoting products that save a lot of time, so that again falls under culture. They come out with drive-thru windows, they come out with frozen dinners, delivery options. A lot of these lack a lot of nutritional value. They're just kind of a get-it-now meal. So I mean, that definitely contributes to obesity as well. Let's go into how the government is responding to obesity. A lot of people are torn on whether they think government should be impacting obesity or if they should stay out of it. So some of the things that the government has done positively impacting obesity, Michelle Obama, for instance, has came up with the Let's Move campaign, which promotes activity and healthy eating for our adolescents. So that's a good impact that the government has implemented. But a lot of people actually argue that the government should stay out of that, saying that's our own personal choice in what we decide to eat and how we should decide to exercise. So it's something that definitely needs to, it's a fine line as to how the government should be involved. A couple of more positive things the government has done to impact obesity is in our children's schools, instead of supplying soda and candy and treats in our vending machines, they've actually started implementing juices and healthier alternatives such as fruits. So that's something positive that the government has done. They've also started requiring fast food industries to release their nutritional content on their drive-through menus, so people are starting to get a better understanding of actually the intake of the calories they are eating as well as the fat content, so people are being more knowledgeable about the decisions they make. So I think this is helping contribute to making positive choices for some of the healthy alternatives. So let's take a look at just some of the things that we've gone over today and how obesity is being impacted. So we went over some of the health impacts of obesity, as well as how fast food has contributed to obesity, as well as some of the negative media effects on obesity. Also how, as a culture, obesity is being gone through, as well as some of the impacts by the government on obesity. So we have taken some small steps, especially by the government, in providing nutritional information and making our society a little bit more knowledgeable, but there's definitely things that we can do from this point forward. People can start becoming more knowledgeable and taking it upon themselves to learn more about the things they are eating, as well as setting guidelines to be more active. People should also be getting regular checkups, so there's a lot of people out there who just kind of put that off, so people definitely need to be going to their doctors and getting checkups regarding their health. And people also should be just trying to make positive choices, maybe set out some of the meals you're going to eat throughout the week instead of resorting to some of the fast food, unhealthy choices. So that's pretty much it.